Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your full moon in Aquarius reading. Let's tap in and see what energy wants to show up for you for this full moon in Aquarius. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Adjustments are required. So I feel the intensity of this reading. I can feel like, endings aren't always a good thing. I mean, not always a good. They're always, they can be very challenging, is what I meant to say, right? Like it's tough, good. Some of the best decisions we make in our life are some of the hardest decisions that we have to make in life. And so I feel like closing out a cycle, it feels extremely bittersweet, right? Like bitter to say goodbye, to let it go, to close it out, and then sweet to know that the new beginning is happening. So I feel with those adjustments are required. And this is third quarter moon on this one, full moon on that one. And underneath it is a full moon in Sagittarius, which says, look at the bigger picture. So it just feels that strong, bittersweet energy to me. So let's keep going. Power. This is you standing in your power, taking back your power. Bottom of the deck, I feel like you're trying to restore peace, balance, and harmony. And I feel like in order to do that, you have to let some things go. You have to close some things out. And it feels very bittersweet. But I do feel the thing at the end of the rainbow, the pot at the end of the rainbow is, that pot of gold that where whatever that pot holds for you, right? I feel like it's peace, balance, harmony, could even be prosperity in your life. I feel like that's what you're trying to restore, reflection. Yeah. I do feel this is I don't, it is a full moon in Aquarius, which is an air sign, and typically I would feel this, and it can be too with this reflection where you're spending a lot of time up in your head, but I also feel emotions with this, and so I do feel like this is a major life choice, change, completion, new beginning, like all wrapped into one. So it does feel pretty significant to me that somebody is going through something in a very reflective state of mind, really, you know, putting the facts out there, balancing the scales is what I'm feeling. It's almost like feeling a list, the pros and the cons, and recognizing if the pros outweigh the cons, yay. If not, then, what do you do about it? That's how I'm feeling with this. Trust the process. You see the butterfly wings talking about transformation. Wow. Butterflies, surrender I feel surrender to a transformation, to this cycle closing out, the releasing of what's got to go, and the embracing of what could be or what will be, and abundance. I kept feeling that pot at the end of the rainbow. I do, and see all the butterflies again, right? I think it's time for a fresh life to grow, is how I'm feeling. Take what resonates, release what doesn't. Look, I'm splitting the deck. Ace of Air, that's the truth, and there's the transformation, Scorpio energy. So Scorpio energy is showing up already on the cards, but I will say this, the ruling planet of Scorpio, Pluto, is in the sign of Aquarius. So there is definitely some major transformation going on in that area of your chart. You can look at the beginning few degrees of Aquarius in your chart and see where this is activated, what house is activated. The first card that comes out to start clarifying is justice. There's been an imbalance, there's been an injustice that's happened somewhere along the way. I love the number 11 because it is a master number. Look at the bottom of the deck, 10 of Earth. This is nice energy, right? It's time, like, this is like the scales are being balanced out, right? And I've seen it, we've seen it right over here, the abundance, the abundance. It's time for something to be balanced out, to be righted, is how I'm feeling. Like there is some sort of, justice being served in regards to some sort. I don't know if this, I mean, for some of you, this could be in regards to love. For some of you, this could be in regards to money. I'm getting the feeling it's a, some of both, right? Like I'm kind of feeling it's that, because, well, that makes sense because Venus is the ruling planet um, of Taurus, right? I'm feeling a lot. This is your reading. And I'm seeing that earth energy is how I'm feeling. So I do feel, and Venus also, Libra is associated with Libra, right? So I do feel, yeah, like I said, Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus, and Venus rules our love and our money. I feel this is a combination of both. I feel like whoever I'm talking to, if there has been a lack, messenger of air, if there has been a lack of emotional, unconditional, reciprocating, um, balanced love in your life. I feel like that's happening. That's what's coming through. But I feel like if you have been going through that, you've been going through money things as well. And I kind of feel like this is where it gets justice gets served, balance is restored, and there is this restoration when it comes to love and money. And they are ruled by the same planet. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's see. So, taking back your power brings justice. There's news, information. There's some sort of communication that's coming through, information you may find out that may be disclosed, a conversation that kind of, gives you that aha moment, that sort of energy. Let's clarify this reflection. Oops, let's clarify. All right, let's clarify this reflection. The Ten of Waters. Yeah. I mean, Three of Waters. So I feel like reflecting back on the past, like whatever this experience is or this cycle is that I feel is getting closed out, I do feel like it's not that you're remembering all the challenges or the bad. I do feel like you're remembering some of the Ten of Waters where that peak happiness, that joy, it gives me that vibe of just recognizing like I don't know if you outgrew that or, sometimes people grow and they grow differently, right? They ultimately are heading into different paths, futures, whatever that is. I kind of feel like there's some looking about that, but I see somebody who is really, looking at, you could see this person looking right at this Ten of Waters. And if you notice, like I said, that water energy, I felt that water energy and this is a cups energy, right? Ten of cups. But you also see those pentacles. I feel like somebody is just heading towards something. I feel like using the word vibrant, like more stimulating, alive, like exciting. I just feel like like what was is no longer, and they want that balance back. They want that balance of love in their life, is what I'm feeling. Next card, Queen of Earth. Ooh, yeah. Somebody wants this balance in their life. Page of Air. I think they're thinking about this. I think they've been thinking about this. I think this full moon is really activating something. And as I was saying it, I don't know if you heard that card fly out, but it was that Page of Air again. Yeah, somebody is ready to speak something. Three of Air. Whew. I keep saying whew because I can feel the energy through this. And with the Three of Air, this talks about heartbreak, right? And I feel like whoever I'm talking to, it is a heartbreaking experience. It feels bittersweet to me. It feels bitter of saying goodbye, of surrendering, of releasing, of letting something go. But it feels sweet because now that opportunity to align with what they truly desire is available. Like the space is available to bring that in. And it's a matter of going through this transformation and trusting the process and, speaking what needs to be spoke or that sort of energy is how I'm feeling. Mm. All right, let's see. One more card. One more card to clarify this trust. Trust the thought process. Trust the information. Trust. Oh, Hermit card. Trust yourself. Trust your higher self. The Hermit card talks about this is Virgo energy. That is your sister sign. You can see this has a door, right? There's a door, and there's all these keys. So I feel like I said this bittersweet, where the ending to the new beginning, the new opportunities can come through having the strength, courage, and confidence. And I feel like the strength, courage, and confidence to do the right thing, to bring that forth, that justice, that balance, what's meant to be into your life. Hermit card talks about going within. It talks about doing soul searching. It talks about going through an enlightenment. It's the energy speaks of discovering, right? Discovering, deeper, on a more deeper level, who you are, what makes you tick. Battle of the Blues. Bottom of the deck is seven deadly sins. Someone's been caught up in a situation that's had them down and out. Depressed, just ugh. It's just that feeling, right? Like lack of motivation. Like there's been a situation that's been toxic, and instead, it just feels to me like it's time to cut that away. See that sword? This person can stand up, take that sword, and disconnect, cut that off. That whatever was toxic, that seven deadly sins. It can be within themselves, their own toxic past, traits or habits, hobbies, whatever it may be, or toxic situations, experiences, right? It's like you don't have to keep festering in that energy. You let it go, surrender it, cut it off. Next two cards that come up is Animal Bond and Friendship. This card has come out a couple times during the readings that I've been doing for this full moon. I do feel, I'm a firm believer and I pay attention. I do this every single day of my life. I pay attention to the animals, whether it be when I see them out there and they're all running around, or they're, you can tell a couple birds are up there, probably not on the best of terms, pecking and chirping and whatever at each other, squabbling is what I call it. But anyhow, I always be mindful of that, because I believe those are signs and synchronicities of energy that is either coming in or that's surrounding you or that's something like that. But I do feel it's important to watch that. And also I feel like somebody is, it feels to me like this friendship, nurture your relationships. I feel like these are new relationships that are coming in, new connections, meeting new people, that sort of energy. Bottom of the deck is good fortune. I mean, this is the third time I've seen abundance. I've seen abundance choice. I've seen abundance. I've seen the Ten of Pentacles, and now is the good fortune. This is aligning with one's higher self, with what something that is meant to be, right? But you can't get what is meant to be if you keep holding on to what is not meant to be. And so I think that's a big theme in this right now, where these adjustments are required. You're having to step into your strength, have that strength, courage, and confidence to make some tough choices and to be honest with oneself and the information, the facts of situations, people, places, things, behaviors, whatever it is. Next card that comes up is dreams. Believe in your dreams. So this is talking about, like I said, all through this, it's about manifesting what you desire, but it feels like somebody was, I don't know if I feel like they are right now, but I feel like they were trying to hold on to a situation, make a situation balanced that was just not balanced. And I feel like they took their power back and then created some shifts and changes, made some adjustments. At the bottom of the deck is the choices. Make the best choices, and this is what I feel. Embrace the truth, break free from the illusion, and find a way to abundance. Follow your intuition was underneath that. So I do feel like this is where someone's going to align with the direction that they are meant to be taking, going through this bittersweet experience. And someone, we've seen the Three of Swords, there could be heartbreak that's associated with this, but it is for a greater good is how I'm feeling. I hope this message serves you well. I send you an abundance of peace, love, and light. And please, if this video resonates with you, please don't forget to like the video, leave me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee, my link is in the description box below.